Hello everyone, and welcome back to In the Greenhouse, the relaxing little Q&A series where you guys leave me some questions down in the comments and I provide the answers in the next video. And thank you guys so much for welcoming back the Q&A series. I've really felt like I've wanted to bring it back for a long time now, so we can just get to know each other better. It's a very relaxing time just to be able to sit back, relax, enjoy watching all of our plants flourish. Oh, and there's a dragonfly. Come here, little dragonfly. Get in my net. No, I missed him. Enjoy watching our plants flourish, our bugs be caught, all sorts of rare plants be bred from crossbreeding everything together. It's really fun, and it's really fun to see you guys have so much curiosity about me and my life and just have so many questions for me. So we're going to go ahead and dive into some of your questions from last time. You can leave whatever questions you would like in the comments down below, and you definitely probably want to check out like some of the previous videos if you're wondering about the really common questions like what's my favorite plant, what's my favorite animal, how did Chips and I meet, if I plan on having kids. Those kinds of questions are in the past videos, as well as like what my favorite animal is every episode. So that changes from time to time, but I'm going to say today my favorite animal is a chipmunk because I have been watching so many of them enjoy life and have a great time eating all of the bird seeds that we put out on our deck for them, and they're just so adorable and charming. So I'm just really loving chipmunks right now. But let's go ahead and dive in. We have some fun questions from Brianna Albright last week. And Brianna asked a few really interesting ones, including, how are you settling into Michigan? And we love it here. For those of you guys who don't know, Chips and I moved from North Carolina, which is where we met and we lived together for quite a while. Yeah, got it. Yes, all right, we're getting closer, you guys. But we moved from North Carolina up to Michigan, and we moved up here. It's a Knox flower, you guys. It's gonna die any second now, but let's see if we can get some seeds off of it before it goes. Oh, and we've got some seeds over here. We'll go ahead and collect those seeds up, and then let's gather up these seeds too. I can probably sell this guy now. This guy's pollinated. We might pollinate this blue star lemon bush with the Knox lemon bush and just see what happens. And then let's go ahead and pollinate this rose thing with the Knox lemon bush just in case it doesn't happen to sell, and we'll see what happens. And we'll try selling this puppy because I don't think it's going to make it. So we'll go ahead to the nursery and see if these plants will sell. And I will answer the question of how we're doing in Michigan. So we're really loving it here. It is amazing. We moved up to Michigan for the sake of Chips's job. He's actually getting his PhD right now at the University of Michigan, and it's beautiful here. I love the city we live in. It is probably the prettiest city I have ever been in. We like to joke that there must be a citywide mandate that everybody who owns a home has to have a garden in front of it, because there are these gorgeous raised bed gardens in front of pretty much every single house. There are so many pockets of wildlife. Anywhere that there could be a park in this city, people have put in a park. Like even the ravine behind our house has a park in it. If you follow the ravine over a few streets, then there's actually a park inside of the ravine. Oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody bought that dying lemon bush. Huzzah! But there's actually a park inside of a ravine, and everywhere else I've ever lived, they would have either just filled that ravine in and tried to extend the housing there, or they would have just ignored it, and it would have just been an overgrown area that the city couldn't have used for a road or for building. But here, they cleared a path through it, and they built a like wooden set of stairs to go down into the ravine and back out the other side into another park. There are parks on almost every single street, and that's probably because the cost of living here is really high. It's comparable to New York City. It is ridiculously high and very expensive to live here. But it is so stunningly beautiful, and it definitely has given me some great opinions of Michigan, especially because we haven't really left our little bubble since we moved here. In fact, I actually haven't been out of the city since we moved here. I just realized that I have not left the city since we moved here back on the very 1st of August, and I don't really feel like I need to. Normally when somebody says that, you'd think like, wow, they're really not getting out of their own home. And I mean, I work from home, so most days with the beautiful like greenhouse full of animals in my office here and beautiful plants, and with plenty of parks to go walk on, I don't really need to go very far from my home most days. I walk to the farmer's market. I try to go at least once a week, and I really enjoy seeing what's at the farmer's market, and I absolutely love the walk there with all of the ducks. You guys have seen on my vlogs on the vlog channel how often that is just such a gorgeous walk. There's parks and like there's parks everywhere, but then there's the gardens in everybody's yards. So I am just walking along rows of flowers on my way to the farmer's market, and then I get to buy flowers at the farmer's market and turn around and come home. I don't really need to leave the city right now, I feel. I don't know. I think we're gonna maybe go back to North Carolina for Thanksgiving, and I might try to visit my family in Missouri at some point, but I'm so happy here. I feel like I have more access to a wider world here in this city than I have ever had anywhere else I've lived, probably because we live so close to downtown. And I am a country sort of person. I am a rural lover. I grew up in the countryside in Missouri, and I loved it. I loved the privacy. I loved having your own acreage. I love the feeling of like your neighbors not even being able to tell what you're doing because you can't even see their house. That is where I came from. And so it's really weird for me to realize that right now at this phase in my life, I adore being within like a 20-minute walk of the heart of downtown. And I didn't know that was in me. If you had told me that I would enjoy living next to downtown, I would have looked at you like you grew an extra head. I'm a very shy person. I'm a very like earthy sort of person who prefers to walk in the woods than go window shopping. But the culture here is very local. It's very authentic. It's very unique. It has its own flavor. I keep telling Chips I didn't know that what they say about a city having a flavor in quotation marks or a city having a vibe really existed on a scale that wasn't huge. I lived in Austin, and Austin, if you've ever been to Austin, Texas, the city motto there is to keep Austin weird, and they definitely live up to that. It's pretty amazing. Austin is a very unique experience. There's a difference between a lot of the Midwest cities that I've lived in Missouri, which were just a city. They're just a place to live. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're not great. There's nothing really that stands out and has such an air of this is the taste of this place. There. I've never been anywhere that was like that before, other than Austin. And Austin was a huge city, so it more felt like you were swept up in this giant current of energy and people and live music and trying not to get run over by cars. And it took you forever to get from your cheap little apartment on the outskirts into like the heart of the city if you were going to go see something. And then you were so overwhelmed by all the noise and the chaos, and you might have had a good time, but at the same time you have absolutely no money, and how are you supposed to enjoy yourself here? And it was confusing and exhilarating all at once being in Austin. And here in a smaller town, I think there's only about 100,000 people in this city. And let's go ahead and we'll get some things planted really quickly. And actually, can we afford the fancy water or soil? Because that would change things up. Oh, definitely not the soil. And we're still so far away from the water. We're just going to have to make do with all of the seeds that we have been hoarding inside of our little seed vault in here. And we'll have to grow them and sell them. And hopefully the goal is right now, a lot of those seeds, like that Knox flower we sold, are not strong enough to make it because they are being put in just like the medium quality soil, the bioorganic soil. And we need to have the soil imported from the mysterious island of Izoli in order to keep a lot of the rarer seeds alive. And we need to have the rarer seeds to be able to breed them so that we can get the super rare mythical seeds. So that's what our overarching goal in this game is. And it's also for answering questions. It's really fun because then you see how far we've come and what we've been able to do in our nursery, and then you know that is the result of showing up every week and having a fun little Q&A relaxing Monday episode. Why am I trying to chase that dragonfly with a pair of pliers? Yes, I got him. And when you catch extra bugs, then they go and give you more money. And if you haven't caught that bug yet, they go into your bug collection. It's definitely my kind of game. Very old game, but I love the Last Day of Work games. They remain to this day some of my most treasured and favorite ones. Let's see. And we've got some new plants over here. How much does this sell for? Ooh, that's fancy. If it sells for 5, then it's one of the higher quality tier seeds. So what about this one? 3 is medium quality tier seed. All right, so we'll go ahead, try selling a few of these things. We'll just see how they go. All right, and back off into the nursery. But yeah, Austin had its own vibe. So living in Austin was very interesting, but very exhausting, and it was very crowded because it's a huge city. And then living here, there's only about 100,000 people. So there's very few apartment buildings. There's a few, but it's not like in Austin where everyone lived in those giant impersonal apartment condominiums. And Austin also had kind of like the nervous, anxious energy that runs in a big city. It's excited, but on the flip side, there's also that undercurrent of anxiety that runs through a big city. If you guys know what I mean. Yes, it's really fun, it's very unique, but it's also, there's something anxious about it too. Let's go ahead and plant a new little plant while we wait. There is something a little bit anxious about it too. And here there's none of that because it's about a mid-sized town or city really, and it's got the university at its heart, and then the downtown is around the university, and they, I think, were very strict in their planning with this city. We're only 20 minutes from Detroit, but you'd never know we were near that big of a city, and all of the buildings are pretty well maintained. They're very strict on what kind of buildings can come in, and they're very strict on what kind of businesses can be downtown, and so there's kind of like a really nice vibe. There's a healthy vibe. I actually can't think of a single building downtown that's like shuttered up where they don't have anybody. All of the downtown is full. There's nothing abandoned that I've seen on all my walks there. I have never once felt unsafe walking anywhere in this city at all, which is amazing to me because again, I've lived in places like Kansas City and Austin, and there are places where you just don't really feel safe. When I went to school in Kansas City and we get out of my Spanish class, it was almost like 10:15 p.m. when I would get out of my evening Spanish class, and we would always walk in a group to the parking garage because there was just that edge of maybe you don't feel 100% comfortable. And I feel 100% comfortable here. It's very amazing. They have a gazetteer that they publish every month, and it's sent out for free to all of the people who live here so that you can read up about what's going on in the city, the local politics. You can read up about like local things to vote on that are coming up. You can read up about changes that they might have to make to the traffic structure and how you can lodge a protest or like lodge a submission of like your suggestion for what to do. It's so interesting because it's almost like it's a very tight-knit community, and it's just very kind of, I want to say professional, but also tight-knit. It's professional, but it's not impersonal. So I love it here. In long story short, I love it here in this city. And I love that I can walk into the heart of downtown and go look at all of its cool shops and find so many vegan places to eat, which blows my mind. It really makes you feel more connected to a place as a home if you can go and do those kinds of little things, go out for lunch and not have to worry about what you order, because there's restaurants here that are 100% vegan. Everything on the menu is vegan. Everything they serve is vegan. And that's really, really, really great for us when that is part of our family culture. And when you feel kind of isolated, like the old place we lived in, the only place that was vegan at all was a pad thai dish at a Thai restaurant, and that was it. And so you could have that, you felt kind of like isolated, even though there were so many places around you to eat and so many places to go. It made you feel like you couldn't really participate with the city on that level. And here I can go have all of the vegan baked goods I want from 3 vegan bakeries within a 15-minute walk. And that's really cool. So yeah, it's kind of like the city is welcoming to us because of our family culture. It's welcoming to us because of the size, the walkability, how safe it is. And like I was saying about downtown, I think they're very picky about what shops can go in downtown. And I think that's what gives the city such a feeling of uniqueness and its own culture and flavor, like I was talking about earlier, because you don't see very many mass-produced shops. You don't see a lot of the chain shops there. I mean, there's a Walgreens and there's a Chipotle, but I have to really think hard about those things. I can't tell you like the names of most of the places off the top of my head because they're local. Yeah, there's a Starbucks on campus, you can be sure, but there's also several local like chocolate shops, local coffee shops. I think it has the vibe that people like me have always really been drawn to in the Harvest Moon sort of games, if that makes sense. There's something that's organized and very nice and tidy and friendly and professional, but not impersonal about this city. So yes, Chips and I Blown away. We love it here. We really, really love it here. And I've loved what I've seen of Michigan so far, because I think we happen to live in one of the most beautiful parts of it. I'm sure, in fact, I know from pictures, and because we haven't even been to the Great Lakes yet, that there are other gorgeous parts of Michigan to adventure in. And I'm very, 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 very excited and grateful that I have the opportunity to go on adventures there with you guys in the future too. I'm really looking forward to getting back into vlogging. I mentioned it in the community update vlog yesterday that I'm missing that sense of just connection with the community. And so that's what these videos are made for. And that's what the vlogging channel is going to be for, is to retain that sense of connecting with each other as people. And it's really surreal because you guys have connected with me on a level where we get to grow together for so long. And that means a lot to me. And now we're growing together here in Michigan. And I really hope that I can share some of the really fun adventures with you guys. And I know I haven't been doing a very good job of that the last few months on the vlog channel, and that's been because I've been so busy trying to keep up with the waves and waves and waves of videos and series that we've been producing. But again, that's something I've talked about in the update vlog yesterday. So yeah, Michigan, absolutely amazing. There's a spider, narc, and haha, sold him for $5. We're getting closer, you guys. Less than $700 more, and we can finally have the fancy, no, stay alive, please. Oh no, get away, bugs, get away. We can finally have the fancy water, and if we have the fancy water, we might be able to keep some of these plants alive a little bit longer, because they die and their health plummets if it's not the super high quality water and soil. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Oh, and I have an empty spot. Didn't even notice. Let's go ahead and put somebody. $373. What are you? Oh my gosh. I think I need to spend that money on an Instagrow. Oh no, I don't think I could grow. That would be, you know, okay, we're gonna spend $200 to Instagrow that puppy, because what is this? What? You guys, yay, the glory of Michigan, I guess. So it was talking about Michigan that managed to get this very special little one right here. So let's see what he blooms into. Maturing. You found the fabled rose of Isola. Until now, this plant existed only in myth. The rare rose will surely bring great fame and riches. The effect is automatic and permanent. The plant has been repotted in a golden pot and moved to your nursery. We did it, you guys! Oh, let's get those puppies like blooming and pollinating, and we can sell them. And we've got our very first fabled plant. Well, thank you so much, Brianna, because that's awesome. So it was your question. We finally had one of the rare plants grow on. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. We're just gonna sit here and stare at it and catch bugs until these things start blooming. Now that we've got this one, and now that we can get all of the seeds from it and grow a whole bunch. Oh, I chased away that spider, darn it. And grow a whole bunch of those fabled roses, we can get all the money we need for future questions and future expansions. Yes, that's so cool. But yeah, so Michigan, absolutely amazing for lots and lots of different reasons. I really messed that one up. For lots and lots of different reasons, but unbeknownst to me, and to my surprise, I should say, as a quiet introvert who really loves being out in the forest more than in the city, I actually feel like one of the major reasons I have been so healthy mentally on this transition, because this was something we did for Chips's job. You know, it wasn't like I just up and went, you know, it's really a lifelong passion to move to Michigan. This is something I did with my partner to choose for the betterment of both of our future, but primarily because his job demanded it. And that's something you have to find your own level of comfort with when you come up to that point. And I think I've been able to adjust to the mentally and emotionally to the move so well, because it has been such a friendly city. It is such a nature-loving city. It is such a intertwined city. But it's not intertwined in the way of like when you live in a small town, like in the Texan countryside. Yes, this is another one of those guys. All right, we'll put you up there, my little bud. I'm gonna have it bloom really quickly, and we're gonna get as many seeds as we can from this one. I can tell because of the price, so that's how I know what species it is. Come on, it'll bloom any second now. Okay, and we'll get all the seeds from it because it looks like their health will deplete. And then once we get the seeds, we can sell them, and then we can get the water. Huzzah! Or maybe even the soil. Huzzah! Huzzah! Thank you so much, Brianna. I'm so excited. But yeah, and I think that's a good lesson for all of you out there too. I didn't know that being able to walk downtown and being able to go out to eat at vegan restaurants where I feel comfortable and like my culture it has a place in our community too. I didn't know that would be so important to me. I would have said that the most important thing was being close to green space. And that's what I did say on my vlogs, that when we moved, I was really worried about being close to green space and I needed that. And yes, we are close to green space. You guys have seen my backyard. It's fantastic. It's amazing. But I have also learned that that unexpected thing turned out to be probably one of the biggest helpers. When I need to get out of the house and away from the fact that I work from home all day, when I need to feel like I just sort of have a little bit of room to be out in the rush of people again in a safe and contained way, being able to walk downtown and look at all of the really fancy boutiques they have down there, that's what does it for me. And that's what makes me feel safe and comfortable. And it's helped me to adjust so much to living here. So just remember that you really want to keep your mind open and try out a lot of new things and not get locked onto one thing, because there were a lot of other places that Chips and I could have moved that, yes, let's get more of you seeds, huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. There were other places Chips and I could have moved that would have provided more green space. We could have been like on the Arboretum. We could have been out a little bit from the city, and we chose to try to be somewhere so it was easy for him to be able to walk onto campus. And we also happened to luckily find somewhere that had a really great backyard, and unbeknownst to us was really close to a whole bunch of parks. That surprised us. And so we didn't rank the green space as the highest thing, and it turned out we have it, so I can't discount the fact you should definitely know what you think you need emotionally and mentally when you're trying to find a home. But don't discount that you may be surprised by the other things that turn out to be equally important. And for me, that's actually being able to go downtown. I really need to take you guys downtown with me more often, because there is a shop called like 10,000 Villages that has a whole bunch of fair trade items. Oh my gosh, look at all these things. Pipe cactus. Oh, rose pear cactus. Have some babies. Have some baby rose pear cactuses, please. Those look so cool. The viola fan leaf, the mystic rare oak. Oh my gosh. Can I get it to have some babies with this fabled lemon bush? Come on, hang in there, little buddy. Hang in there. And the viola fan leaf. Everybody's so delicate and dying. Oh my gosh. We'll try to sell the mystic bamboo maybe. We'll see what happens. A fabled maple even. Oh my goodness gracious. There's just lots of things going on here. Let's try crossing the rose pear cactus and the maple. So I'll see if I can harvest some of these seeds up. But yeah, just don't forget that if you make a move and you think, woe is me, life is over because the things I'm familiar and comfortable with, and I've been there, trust me. The first 6 months we moved to North Carolina, I was just a curled up little ball of depression. I don't think I really did almost anything the first 6 months that we moved to North Carolina. And within the first 3 days of deciding that I needed to get over that and find a way to be happy where we lived at, I found a park, I met Chips, and I changed my life within 3 days after 6 months of moping about having moved and being away from the things that were familiar to me and being away from the things I thought would bring me happiness. So yeah, don't give up. That's what I'm saying. And don't discount things that you would have like sworn up and down that you weren't interested in, ending up being something that you actually find a lot of comfort in and that make you feel like you're at your new home. So there's that little wisdom, Seri bit of here's my life experience. I hope it helps so that I can offer up to you guys for today. And man, let's see if I can answer another couple. Oh, she's got some really great questions. Brianna, you had so many awesome questions. This is kind of our rambling series, so I did segue off into just rambling as I always do, but a lot of you guys say you love that, so I'm never going to apologize for it in this series. So I will try to answer one more of her questions that's just really simple. What is your favorite song? That's a really good one, actually. I have a lot of favorite songs. Most of the music I enjoy is actually just like video game background music or like chill music. We've actually talked about my love of like electronic sort of mixed music in the past. Like a lot of Tasty's music I enjoy. But right now, if I had to pick a favorite song like that had lyrics, I would probably say that it would be the University of Michigan trailer song. I don't even know what it's called, but when we were looking up the University of Michigan on YouTube to see if we could see anything about what it's like here, we actually stumbled on this song that I'll link in the video description because I don't remember the name of it. I don't even know if it has a name. I think it's just a song a local composer made for the university's sort of like, hey, come join us sort of trailer. And it's really cool. There's lines in it that have to do with like looking through the leaves of the trees and not giving up and what it means to grow. And it's really hard. I'll see if I can find the lyrics somewhere and post them in a comment below, because unless you hear the song, I don't think I could explain how the lyrics made me feel as somebody who is trying to figure out if this was going to be our new home, and as somebody who has been a college student before. And it's really a great song to sort of sum up what it means to try to face becoming an adult, and what does it mean to become an adult, and what does it mean to grow, what does it mean to actually challenge yourself. I wish somebody would have told me when I went into college that I had to chase what I felt were my own personal challenges, not just fulfill the roles of being a good student, not just get the A's in classes, but I needed to push further and harder and farther than that. And I needed to look at the things that I knew personally. I had to turn around, grab by the horns, and face to become the person I wanted to become. And it's very easy to lull yourself into thinking, oh, I've got so much on my plate. Oh my gosh, I'm going to fall apart. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. I can only focus on getting the good grades and doing this in school right now. I can't focus on all the rest too. It's so easy to lull yourself into that. And so my advice is, whenever you can, but especially when you already know you're going to be facing so many changes in life, like when you're going to college, then don't hesitate. You need to face the big thing. You, only you, can know what the big thing is. But it is perfectly possible to go through all of your college experience, get all the A's, get the degrees, get a job, and still not have faced the big thing and be just exactly where you were on freshman day. If you do not face the big thing and only you can know what it is, you're going to be right back where you started. And that mythical feeling of having personally, deeply, fundamentally changed, of having crossed some sort of threshold that we now put college as, in especially the American culture. Like, you go to college and it's like your rite of passage, and something is supposed to happen to you there that will turn you into the adult that you have in your mind. That'll turn you into the person that you have deep inside of you, that you feel like is the hidden gem in your soul that you want to become. I know I definitely thought all I had to do was just go to college and be good at it to get there. And that wasn't true. I had to face the big thing. And college is kind of, I feel, you're supposed to go and get your technical skills, of course, too. But it's kind of the first moment where, as a culture, we kind of make that part of the right. Being able to expect yourself to become someone new. And that's really like the first time I think a lot of people, at least nowadays, really feel like they come up to that in their life, having to become that someone new. And a lot of people think, and I definitely thought, that all I had to do to become somebody new was just keep my head down and work hard. And it didn't matter if I was ignoring the nagging, niggling feelings of my crumbled self-confidence, and the fact that I was pushing up like 300 pounds at the time, the fact that I was in a horrible relationship, the fact that I had a really terrible relationship with my mom at the time. I thought I could just ignore all those things, because the point was, if I get the grades and I get the degree, I could get out and I'll become that new person. And that's not true. That's not true. You have to face yourself. You have to face the big thing. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you that all you had to do was get the degree, and with the degree, you also are able to snag everything else in life, but it's not true. So I don't even remember how I got there with, it's from the song. So that's what I think about when I hear that song, you guys, and that's why it's my favorite song, because it makes me remember that feeling of not just going and getting the grades, but that feeling that I had in college and I didn't understand when I was first going, that I was actually searching for, of not only going and getting the good grades, but fundamentally changing as everything of who I am and becoming that something more that I think all of us secretly hope we can become somewhere deep in our soul. You know, that hidden gem of the person you want to be. And you hope that the path to get there will just be as hard. And it's hard to go through college, do a great job, get your degree, get a job, get the experience, whatever it is. You hope that you can just kind of take the path that's like prescribed and it'll lead you there. And for some people that may be enough, but in my personal experience and from having looked around at all of my friends and family and loved ones, it's never just enough to do just that path. That's just the start. That's just the start to give you a taste of what it's like to work hard and to dig deep. And then the rest of it, you have to keep going with yourself. So, oh man, I feel like I've been a little bit of a bummer, to be honest. I feel like that's a little bit of a downer, even though I'm just saying you have to work hard to become who you want to be. So I'll leave it off on that. And you guys, we've got our very first mythical flower. So thank you to Brianna. I hope you can carry that forward to cheer your day up. It was your question. We stumbled on that and I'm still very, very thrilled and delighted that that happened. I'm going to do a little bit more crossbreeding over here with all of our various cacti and see if we can end up with anything fun. Oh, there we go. Fabled maple seed. Huzzah. Are we running? We're out of seeds. We are out of seed space, so I need to start selling some of these guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, and I need that mythic bamboo. Okay, we'll have to try selling this. Then we'll drag it. There we go. All right, and I'll sell all of these. And I'll see you guys back here next week. Please, please, please leave your questions in the comment section, and I will answer them next week. I will also go back and answer more of Brianna's questions if I can. We'll see what strikes our fancy. I have a big list, so if you are one of those people, and I saw you last week, my friend, who more like to sit quietly at the back and just enjoy listening, and you don't really want to chip in, no pressure. I've got plenty of questions to keep us going, and if nothing else, I've got lots of stories to share. So I really, really love this. I really love the connection. I really love the fact that we have our very first fabled flower that's going to change everything. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.